Hello viewers, I shall speak on one of the most simple and yet least understood aspect of programming. I shall devote this session to structures, classes and objects. Students very often complain about difficulty in grasping what a class or an object is. In order to elaborate further, we must recollect the function of a computer. A computer collects, stores, processes or analyzes data. This data is about something which we call an entity. This data regarding the entity is bundled together into a group. This data bundle is known as a structure. Instances of the structure are called objects. Let us see the syntax of a structure. Let us see the definition of the structure. The keyword is struct. Then the name of the structure is struct name. Then we have three variables declared, variable 1, 2 and 3, and their types also. So these are the three declarations which come within the class defined as a structure. So here ends this structure. Then we have the objects being created. Variable 4, 5 and 6 are the objects which belong to the structure struct name. A suitable example would be the definition of a structure called point. It has two members x and y. Then we have the objects being created using this struct point declaration. The objects are p1 and p2 and the members will be p1.x and p1.y. Similarly, the members for p2, p2.x and p2.y. The definition for the structure is struct point float x float y. Make sure that there is a semicolon also at the end of this definition. Struct is the keyword for defining a structure and point is the structure which I have created, and it has two data members x and y. Now this is only the definition of the structure. Now at the end of this definition, I have not created instances of this user defined data. In the next step, I have created two instances p1 and p2, p1 and p2 belonging to this structure, and it is at this point that memory is allocated to two specific instances of this structure point, and these instances are p1 and p2, by which I mean p1 is an object belonging to the structure point, and p1 will have or hold two data members, both x and y. So p1 will have x and y, p2 also will have x and y, and p1.x is an element of the object p1. You can see here. p1.y is also an element or a member of this object p1. Similarly, p2.x is a member of the object p2. p2.y is also a data member of this object p2. And you can see here I have used a cout statement so that there is proper documentation. The program, once it is being run, it will ask for keying in the value of p1.x, p1.y, that is for the first object, again for p2.x and p2.y. I have given two cout statements whereby p1.x and p1.y are displayed on screen. Again, p2.x and p2.y are displayed on screen. Let me remind you that a structure is also a class, and the only difference when a structure becomes a class is that a class has additionally functions. Here we have two data members x and y. When it becomes a class, a complete class, besides x and y, it may also have a few functions. We will come to classes with functions later. Now let us see how we can build this program. I am going to build this one and then run. So here you can see the output of the program. The program is, here you can see the output of the program. The program during its run is prompting us for entering the x coordinate of P1. So it is asking for the member P1.x. So I shall key in 3. It is prompting for P1.y. I shall key in 4. Then it is prompting for P2.x. Let me put it 5.5. It is asking for P2.y. Let me give 6.5. And you can see the effect of the last two cout statements. The coordinates of point P1 is output as P1, 3, 4. Again, the coordinates of P2 is output as P2, 5.5, 6.5. Now, these decimal values, as you can see, have come on because we defined x and y as floating point values. Before I conclude, I shall make a small change to this program. I am going to replace the struct with a class definition, and also this struct, which is a declaration, with a class declaration. So you can see here we have now defined a class called point and also created two objects to this class. And I shall compile this program, and you can see that the error turns up that float x is private within this context. The same error is there regarding y also. So the compiler tells us that it is not able to access these variables P1.x, P1.y, same for the object P2. So x and y have now become inaccessible to the main. So from the main, it is not possible to access P1, the variables within P1 and P2. So this is how a class is different from a struct. In a structure, every variable is public. It can be accessed from the main. When it is defined as a class, these variables have become inaccessible. This aspect is known as data encapsulation or data hiding. Here, data is hidden from the main, or this data x and y regarding the objects of the class point cannot be accessed from outside the class. Only members or maybe functions, which we shall see in the next session, only members of this class point can access these variables x and y. Structures serve to arrange data in the memory of the computer. This makes data processing more efficient. We shall discuss more on classes in the next session. Thank you.